All right, on that note,
as always, professionally,
who are we discussing today?
We'll be looking at Savage Opress, the brother of Darth Maul, the Sith apprentice of Dooku and Maul, and then on top of that, the Jedi killer.
Jedi killer. All right, well, let's hit it.
Savage Opress was born on the planet Dathomir. He was the son of Mother Talzin and the brother to Maul, and he played a crucial role in the Savage Ventress scheme for vengeance against Count Dooku. Ventress would journey to the Night Brother village, ultimately selecting Opress to become her devoted servant. He would appear to be loyal to Dooku, but was actually secretly under the sway of the Nightsisters. Following the failed plot against Dooku, Opress returned to Dathomir where Mother Talzin instructed him to embark on a quest to locate his estranged brother Maul and receive training under his guidance. Opress's relentless search led him to a desolate junk planet where he had eventually discovered a mentally unstable Maul. He then brought Maul back to Dathomir, where Mother Talzin employed her mystical powers to mend Maul's mental and physical injuries. Opress indeed went on to receive training under Maul, and the two brothers formed a formidable alliance. Together they rose to power and took control of the galaxy's underworld, asserted their authority over Mandalore, and emerged as a significant menace to the Sith Order.
All right, so I'll have a little caveat with that. When I was doing that, it sucks, writing that sucks, but you have to write it down, but I had to fit it within a minute. So I really wanted to focus on Savage. I'm like, I feel like I focused on Darth Maul too much there. But like to add like his power levels, his training, his everything, I could not make it without me going like this. Savage Opress. Like I had to talk that slow to get it to go to a minute. It was like 30 seconds because every story he has is basically hunt for Maul, or around Maul, or he's hanging out with Maul, or he's in his brother's shadow. And like I was like, I really didn't want it to be like that, but I figured, we'll talk about his power set stuff here. But I did feel bad when I was like looking back and I was like, man, I talked about Maul a lot on there, but they go hand in hand, I guess.
Hand in hand, right? Arm and waist, and then.
So I just want to see this real quick. I'm just gonna click on. Just gonna click on Zabraks, okay? It says they are okay according to Wikipedia, and they are 100% accurate. They were near human carnivorous species native to the planets of Iridonia and Dathomir.
Mm-hmm.
Can't be native to 2 planets though, right? Like I'm pretty sure you can't evolve separately from 2 planets. Can you do that? I'm pretty sure that's not how genetics works. But
the Tuscans and Jawas came from the same. Here
we go. Person. Although most Zabraks lived on Iridonia, some settled on the planet Dathomir, where the females of the species known as Nightsisters ruled over the Night Brother males.
As we talked about in the Nightsister episode, they are the subservient ones to the Nightsisters.
The females lack the cranial horns, which, from what I understand, that means the males are better. That's what I just heard. We have the horns. The males have the horns. They got to be better.
It just means they're hornier. That's all.
But it's like you got these cool horns growing on top of your head, but you are like a big dog for the girls in your species. They pretty much control it all. They're all powerful. All right, so we're talking about Savage Opress. He is the son of Mother Talzin and the brother of Maul. There was another brother, and I do not remember his name. What was it? Yeah, Pharaoh. That poor bastard. Yeah,
talk about names: Mauling, Savage, and Feral. Like you got all the different. Talzin had a theme going.
So, anyways, obviously we're just talking about. I think the elephant in the room here is, although his story is amazing, and I do like the character, shoehorning Maul and Savage never wanted to be one big family with Mother Talzin is a little bit too on the nose for like, how are we going to explain all this? I know we'll make them all family. Was a little bit Star Warsy, but
it was funny because I figured it was more like it wasn't like at first when I watched it when I was younger and like rewatching it again, I thought it was more like a thing of like, oh, your brother, but like a mother, but like in a community sense, like they're in a tribe, opposed to being like the genetic, but apparently the genetics. So that is the funny part to it. They are genetically all the related. But nevertheless, it's funny seeing where Savage Opress comes in, and he basically filled the role of Darth Maul for the Clone Wars before they decided the fact that they would just bring Maul back later on.
Is that a thing? Is that like a
I
known
don't
thing?
know if they. I know George Lucas had said that he was wanting to talk about bringing Maul back. I don't believe it was specifically that Savage was like a test for it to see if the audiences would like it. Obviously, they would have, based off of fan favorite. But we got this character who was like scrawny. They gave him the magic, and his horns grew, his body grew, and they basically the really weird thing is I forget about with that is that technically speaking, Savage Ventress was treated more like a mate for him than anything, not like a sister. Truly, more like his just mate. That's exactly what they're.
Yeah, so on here again, referring to the Wikipedia here, it does say Savage Opress introduction in the series was instrumental along with George Lucas recommendations to bring back Maul into the series following his apparent death. So
Okay, yeah.
That makes sense. Well, it doesn't make sense because it's kind of silly, but I don't think anyone's upset that Maul came back and that Savage Opress is a part of it. It was a really cool story. I really liked his character. And I guess we can just start with right at the beginning. So it all goes back to the fact that apparently Ventress has all the power in the world. She has the ear of Mother Talzin.
So I wasn't lying. It does say 7 days to die whenever I saw it come up.
Oh, does it say that? Oh, yeah. You know what? I probably did forget to change that. I don't even know how to go back and change that, to be honest with you.
Well, that's fun. I'm going to be confused to seeing two guys talk.
Let me see if I can do that.
But yeah,
hold on. Let me just do this real quick.
No worries. I'll fill the air.
Oh, it doesn't say anything on here. It says Star Wars talk show and podcast.
Okay.
That's weird. Huh. I don't know. Anyways, oh, well, thanks for hanging out anyway, kitty kid. So, anyway, like I was saying, she has all the power in the world, apparently. She can just decide whatever she wants to do. And she wanted to get back at Count Dooku, as she has been wanting to for a while. So they say, I got a great idea. What we can do is we can give you a mate, basically. And also, when it comes to these people, the mate also means servant, I guess, a nice way to put it. And so she was like, sounds great. She goes to the planet, has all the male species fight for the right to be her servant, basically. And he comes out on top. And he's actually, if I remember correctly, he's actually a pretty decent dude. He wants to protect his brother. He's actually not.
Oh, yeah. He said, yeah, take me instead of him. Like, leave him.
Let him live. Bad of a guy. So they take him, they put him on the altar, they shoot him with a little bit of the green gas. And like Venom and Batman, he becomes Super Shredder overnight. Or in a few seconds, he gets like super powerful.
Steve Rogers stands right over top.
And like you said, the best part is the fact that his little bitty horns become really big horns.
Puberty.
And I believe his first test to make sure that he is listening no matter what was to kill his brother. And if I remember correctly, he didn't even hesitate. He just went ahead.
Oh, he just snapped. He snapped him real quick.
Yeah, didn't hesitate. And like I said in the opening there, the goal was to let Count Dooku believe that he got himself an assassin, perhaps a
brand new apprentice.
But the whole plan obviously was to get him close to Count Dooku so we can get the revenge and get rid of that no good Count Dooku. So that's kind of his like quick beginning story, I would think, right?
Yeah, the initial part, and Dooku trains him in the ways of the dark side and does a good job and gives him a double-bladed lightsaber, to which he ends up going on to Well, before he gets the lightsaber and all that, he goes his first mission sent off to take over this tower, to which he kills 2 Jedi
Easily.
pretty easily with his bladed
Wasn't
weapon.
really a challenge.
And it's like, wow, he's already 2-0 here.
What we do see when you were talking about really quick Count Dooku training him, Count Dooku didn't train him like an elderly uncle who's just showing you how to fish. Count Dooku would be like, catch all the fish now. And when you call all the fish but one, now you get the lightning. And he would just electrocute him and then say, do better.
It's like the electroshock therapy, basically, getting him going.
He was a harsh punisher of Savage Opress.
He was.
Do you remember the name of the Jedi? Because I do not remember the name of the Jedi.
I just don't even ask me. They're the most forgettable little random. They put that name in a name generator. They went to a Star Wars name generator and blasted 2 names out. And they're like, all right, sounds good enough. But what he does later do, he kills those 2. And then his hologram gets shown off to Obi-Wan and them. Obi-Wan kind of shits bricks for a minute, thinking about, oh God, he's like, is Maul back? And then, oh no, a different guy. Okay, cool. Another one to deal with.
I don't even see their names on there either. Like, I was just going to try to do it really quick, but.
But yeah, he goes on and then Dooku trains him more, gets him the lightsaber, and then he goes on to wreak some havoc, fights Obi-Wan and Anakin at the same time, and holds his own, holds a good job.
He does. I mean, how many people can say that they fought off Anakin and Count Dooku and was doing fine? Like, he wasn't like he got rescued by something. He was just actually overwhelmed with numbers. Yeah, and droids. So yeah, that's crazy. And that's something we're going to talk about. We talked about a little bit at the beginning before we went live. We're going to talk about, he had a little bit of, in my opinion, a little bit of the General Grievous. He comes out gangbusters, and I don't know. Do you think maybe he did that because they weren't for sure if they're going to bring Maul back, and so they were like, let's make him terrifying?
I think they were again trying to like, at least have that, set him up there for that. Maybe they would just kill him off and Maul showed up and they kind of like, well, you know what? Let's keep him around together. That's like hypothetical, like speculation ideas. But at the very least, they're like, maybe we'll just use him for now. Because they gave him a double lightsaber anyways, right? If they were going to make him more unique than anything, then they would have just given him a different type. But
all right. So I do have it. He was on the planet of Devron. It's hidden in a paragraph. It don't get its own paragraph. That's how disrespectful they are to those poor Jedi that they created for you were like, what is that Star Trek? The red suited guys, like
red shirts, yeah.
You are created to die. This is what your whole reason for the whole reason for doing this. So what is happening?
What is this?
This is a raid, but I'm not sure if she realized that we are doing a Star Wars show. I do appreciate the raid, but I'm not 100% she realizes that this is a Star Wars show. What's happening? Music Box, Lonely Deceased, and Kellen Shade. But Kellen Shade hates Star Wars, so he probably does not even want to be in here. So, hello and welcome back, everybody. Welcome everybody. Every Thursday, every Thursday, we do a Star Wars show, deep dive into Star Wars music. I do appreciate it. I think you might have walked right into the door on that one. Tonight we're talking about Savage Opress, brother to Darth Maul. And so what I was going to say, I've lost it again. He slaughtered a group of clone
Jedi. He slaughtered.
He slaughtered a group of clone troopers. Then slew his first Jedi Master Halsey, Halsey, and his Padawan Nox, overpowering the brute strength and endurance in hand-to-hand combat.
Nox and Halsey, okay.
Yeah. Poor people who were created just to die, unfortunately. That is what their whole reason for doing this. So I guess we get to say he went straight into, obviously, like we said, Count Dooku trained him in the ways of the dark side.
And then he pissed him off one day too hard by killing an old, what do they call that species? Watto species. I can't remember. Killing one of the senators of that planet, that species. And and then Savage Adventures helps them. They fight Dooku. They lose. And they definitely lose. As we know, Dooku is around for episode 3. And then Savage returns to the Night Mother and Talzin.
Well, to be fair, they lost because Savage realized that he's getting played by both sides.
Yeah, that's true.
And he says, "Nah, enough of this." And he force chokes both of them at the same time. Again, with his super overpowered abilities that are about to be nixed. He has force choked 2 really powerful beings at the same time, and then said, "The hell with all of y'all, I'm going back home to mama."
And going back to Mama's house.
And he flies back. His arms are tired to Mother Talzin's arms waiting for him. And what if you were there when it first came out?
Oh, I lost my mind when that happened.
What did she tell him, bro? What did she say to him?
You have a brother. You have a brother. And then it shows a little mystical thing, and he smalls, and they go, "Oh my god!" And then they tease you at the end of that season with that, and leading into the next one with, "You must go find your brother. He's somewhere around the galaxy." And then we get the biggest surprise when he goes and finds Darth Maul. And still weird to this day. It's still weird seeing that. When I saw that when I was younger and knew about the Legends Darth Maul, where we had the mechanical legs and giant horns, when you see him for the first time since then, he has the big horns, but he's this ginormous robotic spider body. As a kid, I lost my mind going, "No, God, no, no!" And I was so scared and fearful that that's what it was going to be forever. And then they got rid of that right away, and they got legs in.
Yeah, so he lives his life out. He gets cut in half. He ends up on a junk. This is Darth Maul now. He ends up on a junk planet where somehow, just through the power of rage and anger, he gets a body. It becomes a spider. He is completely insane, and he's running around as half spider, half Maul. Not even really Maul. Savage, he has this necklace that like glows when it's close to his brother. Yeah. He doesn't even realize it's him at first until the thing is like wah wah wah. Then he realizes it's his brother, and he says, "Oh, brother, I'm here for you. You need to come back home to mama." And he convinces him to go home to mom, where mom then strips him of his spidery ways and makes him 2 new legs, like Forrest Gump style. She gives him 2 new legs.
Makes him bipedal once again.
And it's from there that basically they team up to be the Gruesome Twosome, and they wreak havoc upon the universe from that point.
Which is completely fun because, like, what are you doing this whole time the Clone Wars is happening, separate as that, and you have these 2 Zabrak Sith running around causing just chaos, killing, attacking people, making a mafia over here, doing everything they can, where Savage becomes the right-hand man to Maul and learns from him, works alongside him, kind of tempers a bit, but not really. He becomes more silent in a way. Like when they're just alone together, Maul and Savage, he talked a lot. But when they are out with anyone else around them, he's just dead silent.
Well, Maul did put him in his place. He tested him once. Maul put him in his place.
Oh, one thing to bring up is the fact who the actor voicing him is, which is a fun one. The actor for Savage is Clancy Brown, who Star Wars wise, he's Governor. What's his name from Rebels?
That doesn't help when a show that we're supposed to be deep diving. When you say Governor, what's his name from Rebels?
That's exactly what it is.
That's it. That's what you got for me?
He's Mr. Krabs from SpongeBob SquarePants. So Mr. Krabs and you Savage Opress.
You can think of Mr. Krabs.
Governor Azani. There's your name.
Or he has a SpongeBob SquarePants. He's probably more famous for that actually at this point. So if you don't know, what happened was they decided they're going to find a way to take over because now Maul hates the Sith and the Jedi equally. He thinks they all need to go. So the only way he can do is we're going to take it all over. So he starts off small. He just grabs a group of pirates and says, "You're now with me or you can die." And they just go up the food chain of all the shadow realm and they take over everybody. The last being the Hutts. And the Hutts say no, so they just go ahead and kill one of the Hutts, and then they corner Jabba, and he says, "Hey, we're just joking, bro. We can work together. It ain't no big deal. We were just joking anyway." And then what do they do from there? They decide we need to ratchet up again. Or I guess it was during this, actually. It wasn't afterwards. They decide, you know who can fight pretty well? Those pesky Mandalorians. So then Maul them go to Mandalore, and he does what?
Well, before they go to Mandalore, Maul makes an attempt on Kenobi with Savage, right? And that's where we get the...
There's no reason for this.
Well, the reason I bring this up is because this is where we get the biggest Savage kill, where he kills Jedi Master Adi Gallia. And
How did he do it?
well, as if you're a long fan of the series, when we covered Adi Gallia not long ago, he, instead of using a lightsaber, instead of using the Force, he just darts his head down and rams his head into her chest, into a wall, and kills her with an immortal Zabrak headbutt.
Yeah,
and,
with his spikes.
Yeah, pretty brutal for a poor Jedi Master from, Phantom Menace era.
And that's pretty good. I mean, that's 3 Jedis he killed in a pretty short period of time. He wasn't with us very long.
Yeah.
So, but so they go to Mandalore, and I mean through will, but also through some shenanigans behind the scenes. Maul decides he grabs that famous lightsaber right there, and he declares himself ruler of Mandalore. And that's why sometimes you'll see some of the Mandalore ones, they have little spikes on their heads, and it's
they were Darth Maul's.
Darth Maul's people who recognize him as the boss of Mandalore. But now we have a problem, and the problem is they flew too close to the sun, and their wings started to melt. Because then they have one of the my favorite scenes of all of Clone Wars.
When you have the Sith apprentice and his apprentice running around, causing a little bit of mayhem, pissing the Jedi off, taking over the underworld, and now they've currently taken over a planet that is known for its many warrior clans who have in past, just by themselves, waged war on the whole galaxy and nearly won. Gets the attention of an old friend.
This is a planet that is in the plans of a powerful being in the galaxy. They rang that bell, and he comes in so smooth. He just walks in, and he says, basically, "Hey, how's it going, Maul?" And then Maul almost instantly goes, "Master!" Like he realizes we have a problem here, and he takes on both of them. And when I mean he disposes of them without much of a challenge, this was the moment where I realized, wow, they really do want Darth Sidious, obviously, is who we're talking about, to be super powerful, because he has a great lightsaber battle and just wipes the floor with these 2 gentlemen. And the last thing we see, Savage is no more. This is the end of his tale. And the last thing we saw, which we'll probably talk about when we do Darth Maul, is we see him say, "I'm gonna let you go because I got plans for you, Maul." And then that's the end of the scene, and that is the end of our unfortunate friend Savage Opress.
We kind of forgot something important with the character.
What?
He gets his arm cut off.
That's that important?
Well, he gets his arm cut off with fighting alongside Maul against Kenobi, and then
this is Star Wars. Everybody gets their arm cut off.
I know, but it's important because it's like his brother. He gets cut down by Kenobi, and
of course, it's Kenobi. Kenobi cut them all.
But
that's why that whole family hated Kenobi, because he did away with all of them, because he is the greatest to ever live, ever do it.
But yeah,
so that is Savage Opress. He
dies.
What?
He ultimately dies.
He does ultimately die. It's one of those things where he was so powerful, he kind of almost had to die, in my opinion, because he's crazy powerful. Like I was saying before, to me, he had a little bit of General Grievous in him, where he was very, very powerful. And because, honestly, of writing and plot, they needed to temper that a bit. He lost a little bit of it. They didn't really depower him, like you just said. They just kind of push him to the back a little bit. Like, just go stand next to your brother, look super menacing, and that'll be close enough. I wouldn't say they ever just turn him into a coward like they did General Grievous, but
they didn't necessarily depower him. They just kind of they let him kind of take a back seat,
Yeah.
And he still was powerful. Like whenever he needed to do something, he was threatening, intimidating, right?
I think that's it. We have anything to add about Savage Opress?
He basically just appears in the Clone Wars. We haven't seen anything else of him. He has showed up in some books and a couple comics. We'll see. But other than that, regarding this,
all right. So let's just see
character.
what other media here he is in.
Mm-hmm.
That is what he looks like. In case you don't know what he looks like.
Yes. In case you missed the thing at the beginning. So we have here. First off, Clone Wars. These are his appearances on the left. Pretty straightforward. Not many, but pretty impactful. So his first appearance is Monster, season 3, the very beginning, and Witches of the Mist. Season 4 is when he goes on to locate Maul and reunite with him. And then season 5 is where he's off doing the Mandalorian shenanigans with Darth Maul, leading to his death in the Lawless episode 16 of season 5. So crosses 3 seasons, about 3, 4, 5, 6, 9 episodes. Yeah, it was a bad fight.
That's pretty awesome. Let's have him voodoo.
It kind of makes me upset because you see Sidious with 2 lightsabers, and we never get to see that again. He never really pulls out 2. It's always the one. He's always holding back. And then comic-wise, again, very little, but some really interesting appearances. His first appearance is also a cover appearance, and it is on the Free Comic Book Day 2011. It was the Avatar / Star Wars, and he's full spread, just the only thing on the one. Alongside that, he appears in the Darth Maul Death Sentence 4-issue miniseries, each issue from 2012. In canon-wise, he actually has only one appearance, and that is in Star Wars Adventures number 3.
That's
it does, yeah. It surprised me. And then on top of that, he has a one variant cover, which is the 50th anniversary. You'll see that as well. It looks pretty good, honestly.
Oh, good lord.
Yeah, so that's the Free Comic Book Day first cover appearance and first appearance. I could not find anywhere I was able to locate like interior art. So I don't know what the interiors look like, if they're cool or not, but nevertheless,
really cool. I am a fan of that.
Yeah. Darth Maul Death Sentence is a pretty wild one. So anyways, this is his first, he shows up here. Him and Maul are under cloaks. So these guys attack them. He jumps out and slaughters them. That poor guy in the middle there on the right hand.
So one of these 2 little gentlemen who are sitting in a booth, minding their own business. One of those is that giant Savage, and no one notices.
Definitely, he's hunched down. You know what he's doing? His legs are kicked so far into the table to the other side, it looks like he's a little short. The covers to this series are pretty weird. So the first one's great. This is the second one. It's a cool cover, but he looks a little weird. He looks a little funny in the face.
Weird,
So this is a crazy moment in this comic. What happens to his character is he's fighting these like 2 Jedi. And one of them throws a canister at him. And Maul freaks out going, brother, no, it's carbonite. So as soon as he breaks the canister, it sprays him and turns him into a solid thing of carbonite.
Nice.
Which is a cool thing. And in the 3rd issue, you see him there placed into the slab, and the Jedi are holding on to him while Maul is attempting to rescue his brother.
And this is Legends, so
this is all Legend stuff. Yeah, these were not canned. This is really funny. This moment here where Maul fought this kid at one point earlier in the comic, just like briefly, and he's like, "Oh, little Jedi, didn't I chop your hand?" And he goes, "Don't you?" He says exactly, "Don't you get chopped into 2 halves? Where'd the other half go?" And Maul is like pissed off face. He's like, "Oh, his little Sith legs running around." He says to him, and Maul's like, "All right, I'm enough of that." And the next panel, next page, he's like, "Yeah, I give him my brother. This is over." And he flicks the switch on the carbonite, turns it on, and Savage stabs straight through.
And you're saying Savage is coming in hot. He's coming in hot. He just immediately thaws and stabs a Jedi.
Yeah. Which basically makes it he's killed 4 Jedi. In his short-lived time on this on this force world or plane. He's killed 4 Jedi. Two of which are masters. Actually, 3 of which are masters. Sorry, one was a Padawan. The other 3 are masters. This is his first canon appearance. His only canon appearance is on this Adventures issue 3. It's Maul of Mandalore, and it's that one. It's those 2 panels right there.
So random that he was on Star Wars Adventures.
It is so weird, right? And yeah, it's the top there, and then the bottom right. That's it. That's his only 2 parts.
He's over here hanging out with the hippie Wookiee or whatever this guy is over here.
Yeah, these are the. And then again, his last thing, a variant cover. This was the Lucasfilm 50th anniversary. The Knight Brothers was the name of this variant. I like that he's the front and center here for this. It's nice seeing that.
Which is rare because usually his brother gets a.
Yeah, his brother would get the. But here's a fun one.
What? What?
So unlike the Nightsisters, there actually is lots of figures of them to a point where I actually couldn't include them. I couldn't include them all because
the female versions.
Talk about the bias we brought up last episode.
All right. Well, let's see. Oh, look at this.
So these were from the same line. These were the first figures he had. On the left was the first one they did, and it was the unarmored one. So he's in the tribal bottoms. And on the right is the armored version with the lightsaber.
I don't have either one of these.
He has 2 other ones from that era with a different banner. And then he has the combo pack one, which we talked about with the Nightsisters. He does not have a Black Series or any other figure outside of this Clone Wars, and there was a separate set of the Clone Wars.
And I haven't looked this up, but I would imagine they're probably pretty expensive because the Clone Wars are very collected.
Funny enough, I actually have seen this box art on the right, like that style they did. I've seen figures like that actually go for some dumb money. So I don't know. I guess there must have been some.
The Clone Wars is very much collected in the toy community. If I remember, now that I see this axe, wasn't that like a special axe that Mother Talzin?
It was the Thousand said it was enchanted with
and they just threw it away magic. Really quick and gave him the lightsaber.
Immediately he's like, lightsaber, thank you. And then
he put that away. Who needs a giant axe so I can have a double-bladed lightsaber? He for real has a Lego?
He has a Lego figure.
That's amazing.
It only shows up once in this one set called Sith Night Speeder, and it features Anakin, Savage, and Ventress. And the funny thing is, Savage, he has the axe and the lightsaber.
They gave him both.
They're like, why not both?
So you have to buy 2. You have to buy 2 so you can show them displayed with one and displayed with the other one.
Yeah, it's a little pricier in a way, this set I've read, but not like ridiculously like what you would imagine.
Oh my!
This is what I found.
This is the Voodoo Lily section of the show.
Yes, it is. This surprised me. So on the left, we have this 3/4 bust, which looks great. Honestly, that looks fantastic.
Not a bust person.
And on the right, I did not expect this. There is a sideshow statue of him. It's a full-size premium one like others. And it looks great. They look fantastic.
Yeah, the sideshow usually drops the ball on those.
And I had I didn't want to look at the price. I didn't want to look at the resale price. Because like you think about that, you look at that and you go, how many people, like you see the Darth Maul one, everyone wants that. You see the Asajj. Is really cool. A lot of people want that too. But then you have a Savage Opress. How many people are jumping to that? And
enough because of who he is, and
so
and it's sideshow. They charge.
We'll be looking at the price after the show.
They charge ridiculous money regardless. So that's why this person collects it. And let me go back. And this person does not. That's why.
You own more sideshow than I do. Shut up. You do.
That's not even a sideshow. That's a hot toy. That's not even.
You own more hot toys than I do.
Okay, I'll give you that. All right. So is that our Savage Opress?
That would be, yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, you already know about the hot toy, Lily. I've already shown you. That would be our coverage of Savage Opress, part of the Maul family. the brother. Yeah, there's not much you can do with it. Most of the time when we do these, they're like, "Oh, I wish we could have more of him."
Your quote, yeah, no, I think
But I
this
think this is it. I think this is what he needed. I think this is perfect to mount. I mean, it's kind of sad just because he was kind of a tragic character, honestly. Like he was more tragic than anyone. He didn't ask.
Yeah,
for
he was
any of it.
essentially abused, right? Like
Yeah.
in that way, like he was picked, he was forced to kill his brother, and then kind of forced into the servitude. Yeah.
He was very much a tragic character. He didn't ask for any of it. He was a decent guy beforehand, taken advantage by everybody. Everybody just used him. And, it's kind of the tell of Mr. G, actually. I feel like that's a very similar tell. All right. So that's it. I guess I didn't say we always do this show on Thursdays on Twitch, 7:30. And then it gets re-uploaded on the YouTube. Oh, I just saw that. It gets uploaded on the YouTubes on Fridays at about 4:30. You can always catch us then. We do appreciate it. And